Hello everyone. Welcome back. Today, we've got some crucial news you don't want to miss. Let's dive right into the top financial headlines and break down what's happening. As the new week begins, let's dive into 4 major economic events that everyone should keep an eye on. First up, Tuesday is a big day. It's the US election day for 2024. This day is significant not just for electing the next president, but also for the complete re-election of the House of Representatives, as every House member will be up for election. Additionally, a third of the Senate will also be contested. So, the election has 3 key outcomes: who will be the next president, Trump or Harris, which party will control the House, and which party will take the Senate. I've noticed that the competition is particularly fierce this time. Based on the information I have, it's tough to predict who will come out on top on Tuesday. Some folks might have different insights and believe one side is clearly ahead, but my perspective is somewhat limited. From various polls, both liberal and conservative, it's still hard to make a call. This uncertainty definitely adds to the excitement surrounding the election, so we'll have to wait patiently for the results. The second event to watch is the upcoming earnings reports from several major companies, especially in the tech sector. Investors are discussing the potential risks in the ongoing bull market, and the tech sector seems to be a focal point for those concerns. Any negative news from these companies could be amplified, as there are widespread doubts about whether the tech sector is overvalued or in a bubble. Therefore, the tech earnings reports next week will add a layer of risk to the market, especially combined with the uncertainty surrounding the elections. From my experience, while there may be significant fluctuations in the market, these don't necessarily indicate a long-term trend. It's an expected volatility, and we might even see some extreme scenarios. However, it's essential to remain clear-headed about this unique phase, where both tech scrutiny and election factors are at play. Regardless of who wins, there will likely be disappointment or elation among a significant portion of the population, which further adds to the market's unpredictability. Third on our list is the Bank of England's interest rate policy meeting next week. Wall Street generally expects a 25 basis point rate cut to be announced, which would directly impact the value of the pound. Changes in the pound can also affect the euro and other major currencies. Additionally, the Reserve Bank of Australia will hold its own meeting on Tuesday, where it's anticipated they will keep rates unchanged. As I've shared before, the Australian dollar has been one of the most stable currencies this year, trending towards appreciation rather than stagnation. This stability is not just about holding its ground, it signifies a gradual strengthening compared to other currencies. Finally, we need to pay attention to international oil prices. Various political and economic factors will influence oil prices this week. Political factors include the US elections and geopolitical conflicts in the Middle East, while economic factors encompass demand from China, the effectiveness of its stimulus policies, and the overall growth of the US economy. Political influences, especially from the US election, are expected to have the most significant impact on oil prices. Here's a professional insight that might get overlooked: if Trump wins, it could bring substantial changes to the oil market. Currently, the US oil futures market seems to be betting on a price decline. Why? Because Trump has the backing of major oil suppliers. If he wins, expect a dramatic increase in US oil production due to his lenient policies, which would likely drive prices down. As a result, many oil futures investors may be shorting the market in anticipation. This scenario might be perplexing if you're not familiar with how capital markets work. Trump's favorable stance towards oil suppliers means that, if elected, they could make more profits, not by raising prices, but by increasing production under relaxed regulations. Conversely, if he doesn't win, we could see a different landscape entirely. So, looking ahead, this week is sure to be a rollercoaster for some investors. Some will hit the jackpot, while others might face severe losses, especially in the oil market. It's bound to be an exhilarating week. Next, as we approach Election Day, let's take a moment to reflect on the latest updates regarding the US elections. With voting day drawing near, it's essential to maintain a level of detachment from the intense political atmosphere. Engaging with extreme viewpoints can lead to confusion. If you're a casual observer or an investor considering the election's impact, keeping a bit of distance will help you gain clarity. Let's discuss a recent Bloomberg report titled "Rumors, Lies and Disinformation: A Lot of Crazy in US Election." This election cycle is marked by an unusual trend where both sides are competing in spreading falsehoods. No one is innocent in this game. According to Bloomberg, misinformation is permeating the 2024 election like never before. As millions of Americans prepare to vote, online provocateurs are amplifying doubts about the election's integrity. In the lead-up to the election, conspiracy theorists and foreign actors are magnifying unverified claims of fraud. U.S. officials and misinformation researchers have indicated that operatives connected to adversaries like Russia are behind some recent election-related hoaxes. Just recently, U.S. intelligence agencies accused Russia of producing a video that misrepresents Haitian immigrants participating in a closely watched election in Georgia, which is part of a broader effort to sow discord in America. Voting organizations have warned that the deliberate spread of rumors and lies could discourage Americans from voting or lead them to doubt the election's fairness. The director of the nonpartisan think tank Issue 1 noted that there are many alarming developments, stating that while misinformation is common in elections, the sheer number of differing beliefs about election integrity in 2024 is unprecedented. Recent Gallup polls reveal that only 28% of Republicans express confidence in the accuracy of national election results, down from 44% in 2020 and 55% in 2016. This means a dwindling number of Republicans believe the elections are fair, with fewer than one-third trusting the process. In contrast, 84% of Democrats have confidence in the election results, a slight increase from 76% in 2020, though down from 85% in 2016. Interestingly, the Gallup survey also found that 70% of Republicans trust the integrity of voting at their local polling places. Researchers suggest that while Republican voters have faith in their local election offices, this trust doesn't translate to confidence in national outcomes, partly due to the influence of online conspiracy theories. This creates a contradictory scenario. While 70% trust their local voting process, 72% do not believe in the fairness of the overall election results. Bloomberg analyzes this contradiction as a result of the pervasive conspiracy theories affecting people's judgments. Furthermore, a viral false video claimed that voters in Pennsylvania were tearing up ballots. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence quickly debunked this, attributing it to Russian operatives. This coverage illustrates the complexities of this election, where mutual accusations of misinformation have become a crucial element. It's not just background noise, it's a significant part of the electoral landscape. However, I believe it won't ultimately sway Americans' decisions. Regardless of the outcome, it will reflect the choices made by the American people. Thirdly, as we dive into our next major topic, let's discuss a recent article from The Economist that has drawn significant attention to Germany's automotive industry. The piece links the decline of this sector to Germany's long-standing dependence on the Chinese market and its missteps in that relationship. While this connection isn't entirely off base, The Economist offers a broader perspective, suggesting that the struggles of Volkswagen are indicative of a gradual deindustrialization in Germany. The article raises a profound question: Germany's automotive sector has overly relied on the Chinese market, bending over backward to accommodate it, only to find itself sidelined. This situation suggests that Germany may have misjudged its reliance on China, treating it as a dependable market. The Economist critiques Germany's strategic errors, positing that globalization, which has been dominant for over 2 decades, has led to an emptying out effect. Manufacturing jobs have shifted to regions with lower labor costs, resulting in deindustrialization across the West. No government has explicitly called for deindustrialization, yet it has occurred almost unnoticed within this global framework. The rise of Donald Trump exemplified this awakening. He recognized that jobs were disappearing and manufacturing was fading. Trump was the first Western leader to seek to rectify this situation, pushing for trade balances and attempting to prevent the loss of manufacturing jobs. In contrast, many in Europe criticized Trump, believing that trade imbalances were simply the result of normal competition and that countries should accept the outcomes. Germany, as one of the largest beneficiaries of globalization, often stood alongside China in trade surpluses. However, with the rise of the Chinese automotive industry, Germany realized that its core manufacturing base was at risk. The Economist argues that this threat didn't just arise from China's ambitions but from Germany's own embrace of globalization, which ultimately led to the hollowing out of its industrial base, not just in the automotive sector, but across all industries. The article suggests that to address these issues, Germany needs to adopt a stance similar to Trump's approach, aiming for trade balance and recognizing that the globalization game can no longer continue as before. However, German politics has yet to confront the flaws within the current model of globalization. These flaws include issues like the so-called low human rights advantage of countries like China, which allows for unfair competitive practices, as well as widespread disrespect for intellectual property and technology theft. Understanding the future of globalization isn't as simple as just accepting the outcomes. It involves recognizing that some players have manipulated the rules for their gain, leading to unfair competition. The Economist raises an important point: Germany must reflect on its automotive challenges as part of a larger reconsideration of its position in the global market. Yet, it remains to be seen how quickly or effectively Germany will respond to this critique. Historically, the country has been slow to acknowledge these issues, often treating symptoms rather than addressing the root causes. As challenges arise for major companies like Volkswagen, Mercedes, or Porsche, the focus has often been on how to rescue these brands rather than on the broader systemic problems at play. The Economist argues that if Germany continues down this path, it risks not only its automotive sector but also its remaining industrial base. While it's uncertain how much impact this article will have on German policymakers, it certainly offers a serious call to reflection. That's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more updates. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.